So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny.
Hot, hot, hot. Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Kick it.
Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
No. Hi, and welcome to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. You know, it does my heart well to have this time together. And this man was in here on some official business, and I said, I need to have this conversation today with none other than the Michael McClanahan. Now, he wears so many different hats today. I'll just start it off in the realm of where I want this conversation to go. For the NAACP State Conference President, Michael McClanahan. How are you?
There is no rest for the weary, my dear friend LaTangela.
This is true. And I know that you have been beating this pavement on a mission for quite some time. Tell me a little bit about your journey as becoming the president of NAACP State Conference.
Well, you know, I never had it on my radar. It wasn't in my bucket list. But, you know, the steps of a man, I don't know, good man or whatever, but he ordered me here. And me being obedient, I'm here. You know, I had a whole lot of other things I had planned. And he saw fit that those plans had to be within what he had already planned for me to do. And so I went from being the Baton Rouge branch president to, and it seems like in a blink of an eye, to be the state president. And so, seemed like in a blink of an eye, I become not only state president, but a member of the National Board of Directors. The blink of an eye. Let me stop blinking.
I mean, you're starting to glitch with all these blinks, because every time you blink, you come up with more rules, more responsibilities. And I was like, wait a second, when do you get more rest? Because as you stated, there's no rest for the weary. And you have been beating this pavement for some time, as you have seen the growth of not just the organization, but the changes, the challenges, and even some of the highlights while serving in this role and all of the other roles. What has been a highlight for you?
Well, knowing that the people have a voice, giving the people a voice, knowing that they can see hope. You know, the NAACP been around since 1909, and we understand fights. You know, we understand negotiations. We understand triggers. We understand, you know, the pulse of the community, because we are the pulse of the community. We understand that. When others run out, we run in. And so it was nothing for me to step in with God and with the history of the NAACP to continue to move, and we move mountains.
You do. And representation truly matters. You know, I always clown you, and we joke and laugh about it. I say, well, you know, Mike, every time you show up, it's like we got to show up and we got to be angry. But I want to be able to tell the world all of the great things that happen, because that very well may be the image that those who are unaware of NAACP and everything that you do and the organization truly stands for on a day-to-day. Yes, you represent and give people a voice in the time where they feel unheard, unseen, or even unjust, right? So
Right.
with that, they're not seeing all of the great things that we're smiling and laughing behind the scenes and seeing those milestones with. So I would love, and this is us saying this is an extension of your office, to be able to come in and tell those highlights as well, because we know you're going to show up and show out. Let's be clear on that.
Right. Well, you know, and you know, I have to do it. The NAACP needs to do a better job of what someone says, ringing our own bell, tooting our home, because the work is so great, the fight is so great. I'll go from fighting one fight and winning to fighting another fight in the same breath almost. And so it's like me spinning around in the chair all the time, all day. And you know, I go from, as a state president, I go from Shreveport to Monroe to Homer to Alexandria to Ruston, down to Thibodeau, Morgan City, New Orleans, and all points in between, because it's so great. And I say the great frontier, the last frontier, is rural Louisiana, rural America, because that's where lawlessness really occurs. We're at the beck and call of those that are in power. More time than not, it doesn't look like us.
Now, this is true. And when you see it, it's so disheartening, because it's like, wait a minute, how is half of this being done in plain sight? and it's with the boldness at times.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know,
So what I want people to know when we come in is that the cavalry has arrived, and we're gonna stay to get the job done, no matter how long it takes, no matter what resources we need. I bring me, but I could bring 40 adult branches and 18, 19 youth and college chapters with me also. That's just within the state of Louisiana. But I can call Mississippi, Texas, we're in every state of the union. I'll bring them, and they're coming because we understand their strength in numbers. We understand that when we ain't coming to play. We come to get results because the fight is so great. But to talk to your point you made earlier, just like the congressional seat that Congressman Cleo Field occupies,
yes.
the state conference, we sued on that about 5 years ago. The Louisiana Supreme Court, we got a second black minority seat on that for the first time in history. We got that. I saw that coming 5 years ago. The state legislature, we just got a ruling 2 Fridays ago from the Fifth Circuit, the most conservative court in the country, that says that the state of Louisiana, the state legislature did black folks wrong in Louisiana by not joining enough seats that would adequately represent us as 30% in this state. And so, I didn't say anything because I was still fighting because somebody called me that the police pulled them over, roughed them up. They've been in jail for no matter how long. These jobs, people got fired no longer. And then we got to deal with the state of the National Guard going from here up to D.C. And we got problems here. We need to be fixing what's at home first before we go try to fix something somewhere. Just dealing with all that stuff at the same time.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, right?
Right.
At what point do you find that safe space to be able to say it out loud? Because there has to be a lot that's coming at you all at once. But when those lines get blurred, or when it seems like the vision is super cloudy, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But where is that safe space, that counsel for you as a leader to be able to go to that quiet space?
Well,
and decide?
what I like to really do is use my hands. I like to cook.
Okay.
And I like to do woodworking, painting, paint walls, home remodel. I like to do that kind of stuff. Cut grass. So I do that kind of stuff. That's therapy. So when you see me cooking, I'm like, yeah, I need to get this meat just right so somebody can say, man, this is the best I've ever. Yeah. Or when I get to paint this room and figure like, man, how did you do that?
Yeah.
That's because the walls don't talk back. They don't talk back to people, they might talk back to me. And so that's my space. And then when I go to church, I say, thank you, God, for another day and another opportunity. You brought me this far. I know you didn't bring me this far to leave me.
That part. I know it. I love that. I love it. You know what? I wouldn't have seen that. I didn't know that you would, get out there and really be chefing. I hear you talk about your little dusty recipes, but I just didn't know that you're out there really. I got to give you a hard time. You know that. But you know what? Mr. McClanahan, it's been a long journey for you, and you've seen a lot of changes. Let's just say for the city. Let's just take it for right here where we are, for Baton Rouge itself. You've seen a lot change. What has been a pivotal moment for you to say that we need to do something different and we need to do it now?
Well, I've seen Baton Rouge go from the metropolitan areas to cities people want to break away. And I saw this coming. And that nobody wanted to hear the Noah to say that it's raining. They say, but the ground is parched, but it's raining. I could see the clouds moving in. And so now it's too late because we have 80,000 people said that they want to move somewhere else. But we always say we better together. If we can embrace that, because they love to see us run on the football field, basketball fields, but they don't too much want us to be, with them in the halls making laws, policies, and procedures that govern everybody. They don't want that. The minute they say we can do that, then we'll be the best city we could be. But until then, we still fractured. And I saw it coming, and it hurts me because I'm a part of Baton Rouge. I've been there 40 years. I'm actually a North Louisiana guy.
Okay.
I'm from a little town called Zawali.
Wait.
The hot tamale capital of the world that you're gonna get.
Zawali.
CWOLLA. It's close to Naglis. We got our own brand.
Okay. Now, because I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, because you ain't never lived. I'm just kidding.
I know, right? I'm just trying to figure it out. I was like, wait, is that really on the map or is he making this up? For those who may be aware of the brand of NAACP, but not the mission, What is it that you want them to have so that way they're not getting any misconceptions about it?
Well, we've kind of simplified our mission because we fight for everybody. I've had the opportunity to fight for not only black and brown people, because right is right. We fight right. We don't fight color. And I've gotten calls from white people, that were wrong. I'm like, well, they're wrong. We need to fight that wrong. To just know that, in these spaces, be it education, be it job development, housing, we're going to be there because, if you want a better life, you want to live in a better space in America, in Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, it takes all of us working together. We're going to do our part. Ask everybody to do their part. But if you don't, I have no problem telling you ain't doing your part. If you're doing it wrong, I got no problem telling you that either.
You don't have a problem telling.
I'm a Capricorn.
He says it like he tells it and feels. Do you think that in this generation that we're doing a great job of communicating the importance of being aware of the platforms that those who put their names on the ballot really stand for? Or is it all about a hashtag or retweet? Or are they even seeing the importance of letting their voices be heard through a vote?
I just love you. I'm telling you, man.
I love you back.
Because I have a call every Monday night, and I say this every Monday night for the last 4 or 5. What you just said, the people that we entrust to lead us, we don't take, sitting down talking to them to find out are they really going to lead us rightfully right. We don't do enough of that. We should be selecting our leaders, and then that vote is sacred. That vote is our power. We lose ground because we don't understand the power we have in our vote. And so people will use that no vote against us. Because if we don't vote, it's just like a vote for something that we may not want. And so the landscape has changed because we have failed to vote, and the other side, whoever that is, has taken control of that and weaponized that our ability not to go to the polls and vote. But we still have time. There's still time on the clock for us to get to the polls.
I love the fact that you said, you know what, maybe we shouldn't let everybody just volunteer to be a leader. Maybe we ought to see the people that's doing the work and approach those people and nurture those relationships and see what that looks like. Because now you'll see it more so than ever. Some were called, some were sent, and some of them just went. And it shows, because I don't want somebody who's just going to show up for a backyard barbecue and hand me some feel-good prizes to say, hey, pick me, pick me. Are you in the trenches with me? Can I identify you outside of a yard sign? Will I see you after I get my vote? Do you know what to do with this budget? And what does that budget look like when it comes down to this area? Or like, these are questions that really need to be answered. And then there's accountability in that. So we can't be mad at the people for getting the positions when we allowed them to get the positions or gave it to them, however we gave it to them, right? So it's just like, if we're not having those tough decisions are being made, and we're on the tougher side of it in the end.
You're so right. I think after the person are elected, we stop holding them accountable. They should be held accountable from before they are elected. We should hold them accountable. And those that in office should be open and transparent with the community, with the voters. They're not, and I can see that there's divide. I guess we trust less the elected officials now than we did before. There should be no trust factor. If I give you my vote, you should hold that in esteem. You shouldn't just say take it for granted that I voted for you. And so, we're suffering. The other point you was talking about that I felt coming on, how do we engage our young people? Because, there's a disconnect between those young adults that vote and those young adults who don't vote and who may care, but showing that they don't care.
Yeah. Well, it's a tough hill to climb because, now it's all about instant gratification. Everybody's living in the best filtered life, best filtered lie. So it's almost like, I don't want to wait it out. I don't want to work it out. I don't want to trust the process. May not trust you while we're going through this process. And if you can't give me an end game or a timeline, and I can't see that timeline happening, we're on to the next.
Yeah. The sad part about it, I try to tell the young people, and we have some youth council. That means those that are in high school and less, or college chapters. And I try to tell them all, man, look who runs the country. All white men. Look who run the state, all white men. So you think they're going to move fast? Oh, no. No matter how fast you can run, you're not going to get laws changed just like that because your brain thinks faster than their movement. It doesn't happen like that. We have to be conformed. We have to get in, as they would say, get in and fit in. And you can change from within better than you can from without.
There it is. I know that you're always having these wonderful events and you're having these meetings and everyone can get engaged. Once you're logging on and you're checking it out at NAACPLAstate.org, you'll get all of the details. But you're doing a state conference where everybody is coming in from all of these beautiful cities, including your hometown of what is it,
Zawali.
Zawali, near Natchitoches. Zawali, near Natchitoches. I know everybody from across the state and beyond. They'll be here October 2nd through the 4th. I'm excited because on the 2nd for their Western events, I'm hosting the welcome reception.
Yeah.
So come through, be ready. It's going to be a field trip. Crown Plaza. Tell us a little bit about the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th.
Well, this is our 83rd annual Louisiana State Convention and Leadership Conference. And we want people to come down because we have members, as you alluded to, from all over the state coming. I've gotten calls from people from all over the country that want to come down and be a part of what we call Reigniting the Call for Justice. And so we're excited. There's going to be sessions, plenary sessions with subject matter persons talking about environmental issues, justice, criminal justice issues, health issues. So much going to be going on. We have women in NAACP. They have a luncheon. We have youth in college. They're having their own thing. They're excited about coming. And then on the 4th, that means Saturday, October the 4th, we have what you call our Freedom Fund Gala, because freedom ain't free. Yeah. And so keynoting our Freedom Fund Gala will be my friend, none other than Roland Martin.
Get out of here. Roland Martin gonna pull out.
Roland Martin, my boy. He's a member of the greatest fraternity known to mankind.
Go ahead and tell the world what it is.
First of all, servant of all, and we transcending all.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna leave it right there.
Hey, if you know, you know. I love it. And I need you to get your tickets right now. Now, are you doing any sponsorships? Are we doing any way to where we can sponsor memberships, especially for youth?
Oh, yeah. So one way to get our young people engaged, because, they don't have a lot of money, because I was young, and I didn't have no money. I'm old and still ain't got no money. But we need to engage our young people. A surefire way to engage them is to pay their membership, and let them come. Say, look here, you ain't got no excuse. Eliminate the pay excuse. And let them come. As Ms. Sherman alluded to, dial in our website, NAACPLAstate.org, get all information, join, but also sponsorships. That few dollars that you're going to sponsor, not only the convention, some young people, some old people, will go a mighty long way in fighting black devils and white devils.
You know what? I want you to join the conversation. I know it's been a while since you've been in the hot seat and on the tan line, but I want you to think of this as an extension of your office. So whenever you have anything going on, feel free to jump in the hot seat on the tan line and consider it done.
LaTangela, you've always been a friend of mine. I knew you when you were in high school. So
absolutely.
I want you to know that you're an extension of really my family.
Yeah.
My wife said, LaTangela call and you go there.
That's right. Thank you, Mrs. McClanahan. Because I know, look, you were so busy fighting for everybody else. I said, now listen here, I need him to pull up on me because I got questions that need answers. Can you make it happen? I had to call the real boss, and she made it happen. So thank you, Mrs. McClanahan. Look,
we love you. We love the work that you do, and it does my heart good to know that I've been knowing you so long and how you blossomed. So anytime you need me outside of the NAACP, I'm there for you, sister, because you keeping all of us moving forward step by step.
I appreciate that more than you know.
Yeah.
I know you have more work to do, so I'm gonna let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
No justice.
No peace.
No peace.